Okie dokie. I don't want to. Why did I suddenly start doing this? I'm so hungry. Hi everybody and welcome back to the letter. I haven't recorded in a while. I'm really bad at recording. Oh my god. I'm not a YouTuber. What? Anyway, we're back, and we're great. We're looking great. We're looking good. Where the hell did we leave off? Let me think. Let me read these dates. I guess we left off on the 6th? Did we really? We did not. Did we really? No. It's right. No. Wait. Yeah. Work it out in your head. We were here. So work it out in your little brain of yours. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? It's, there's snow outside and it's very cold. We're about to get a storm, so I'm gonna be here for a while. Also, this little robot never gets old. Also, this guy. Want to know more about you? With the lunch hour closing, employees should have been back already if they still aren't flirting through the doors. Yes, that's what we do here. I get that it's Saturday, that people feel tired and lazy to be working on the weekend. By the way, I'm so hungry. I didn't eat before I did this. I'm eyeing the sour gummy worms I have sitting next to me into the TV. Do I dare? I hate sour things. But they're still on the clock and not bumming about wasting company time on extended lunch breaks and cigarette sessions. Damn, girl, what the fuck? The office is spacious, as it is with these big corporations. Also, are we in here alone? Are we in this office alone? Because I don't feel very comfortable with that. Each person is given their little space of what's usually a 2x2 meter cubicle. There's a lot more empty chairs than there are actual people working at their desks. So we're not in here alone with the ghost lady. It reminds me far too much of my last day at Kova Projects. Whatever that means. During the massive layoffs due to the Irish economic crisis. Oh, no, not that. Hello, doggy. Good morning. But it isn't just that, though. Everything is quiet as a grave. It's as if these people are merely ghosts. Great! You actually scared me when you came on screen. It's so eerily quiet. There's just an air conditioner. And my dog drinking in the background. You thirsty thought. Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes in through the door looking as if she's just seen one. She looks at me, wide-eyed like a deer caught in the headlights, ready to bolt at any moment. You good, fam? I ask, out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. I'd ask. What if it's something personal? I'd simply be overstepping my boundaries. I gotta give my dog a straw. Sip! Sip the drink! Really, it's none of my business. It's about to be.
I presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch.
I just got back from my mental breakdown.
But it won't take too long. Don't worry.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
Stop being so damn sassy. She flinches and looks like she doesn't quite know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way toward her station and goes to fetch the floor plans. It won't take too long, as she said, but it does take a bit. Time spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
I prefer the real thing.
Because I'm special. Not that you would know. Ugh. You probably have your nose stuck in front of a smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working, playing those mindless, addictive games. What the hell is your problem, girl? I definitely wish Chris would stop playing that Bat-Cat thingy during work hours, too. What the fuck is Bat-Cat? Is that like Bongo Cat, but better?
I know what you mean.
What could be better than Bongo
painting
Cat,
is
though?
nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint.
Fucking, I love that lead paint, though. Oh, yeah, it smells so good. Just
Not that I go
sniffing
into
my
like a
walls
crazy
right now.
person, but, you know, the real thing is different.
It's like when you have a marker. Shit. It's like when you have like a whiteboard marker and or a Sharpie and you take this top off and you're like, ah, that Sharpie smell. You know what I'm talking. Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
I just love going around smelling Sharpies, man. Whatever that means. Checking out the floor plans, I see that I'll have a lot going for me. Now I know how Ray felt when he found the Central Park West building floor plans from that one movie. What? This is why I became an architect in the first place. You're not an architect, though! Jacobine. I don't know if I said that right. Style at its finest. It's a thing of beauty. I mean, it just looks like a bunch of squares to me, but who am I to judge? Look at these gorgeous rooms. Look at these triangles. They're so great. The delicate harmony between empty space. There are 2 attics. Just saying. And speaking of empty space, there's something rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger.
Who the fuck needs a music room? I say, sitting in my... Who needs a theater? They have a theater. Never mind. I'll take it back.
Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem. And it is an old house.
I mean, I'm sure it's just... Putting my hand up to this, the floor plan is about the size of your hand. I'm sure it is much bigger when you actually step into it. There had been little details here and there that I would have liked to address during the open house too, but it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos' incident and the trouble with ownership. The wine cellar's going to be a problem. I shudder to think of what sort of repairs they did to the place. I don't think the wine cellar is a very good place to ever go. Is it even on the thing? What's the difference between... Never mind. There might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed into a dark corner of the room and hidden away in barrels. Water damage could have been covered up. Or a body. There had been floods due to heavy rain in West England just last year, after all. And if there's any sort of damage to the house foundation, that's going to be a lot of work. I was not able to look at the attic as well. You don't want to. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nest there. Working with pest control is always the worst. The sheer size of the place is staggering, even if I did just say it was a lot smaller than I thought. I might just be biting off more than I can chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? Me? I'll play all my games on easy. First thing I'll have to do.
So,
Okay.
Do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John.
Not Sir John.
I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
Drink the coffee, mate. I have to stamp down my annoyance at being distracted. Seeing the girl, the young woman, though, it looks like she has a lot on her mind. If babbling is her way of dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. You got something to say, girl? How'd I do? I did great. Awesome. I give her time to speak up. But when she just stares, I clear my throat.
Yes? You have something to say?
I'm hungry. As embarrassment creeps up on her face, I snatch one of those coffees from her and take a sip. Thank you. Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record.
Would have bitched if it was too
What
cold.
you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
You come make my house pretty?
It's a little bit more complex than that. But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
I didn't expect to hear such a question from her, seeing how well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt, then, why she was assigned to an important sale like the Ermengarde mansion, despite the little accident she had. Dear God. Now she just looks too young, too nervous, and unsure of herself, although her enthusiasm makes up for that in spades. In fact, I wouldn't have believed it if she had introduced herself in a way she is at the moment. By watching her now, she actually looks like she should still be in college. She's very small. Acts a bit like it, too, when you think about it. I thought she was a teen slumming it out in the mansion when I first saw her, lying on the ground. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Surprise, surprise, she turned out to be one of the estate agents handling the property.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice.
Okay, then.
If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
Calling you out.
And yet,
Shit.
here you are, selling property.
Wow!
Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
The fuck? Why are we so mean to each other? Maybe I took it a bit too far. She bites her cheek and it looks like she's barely holding herself
Not
back.
like I had a choice.
She mutters it under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there. Good job, you dick. And it makes one wonder what brought it on. Although it is understandable if her reason's what I think it is, very few people make it in the big art world. I can see why she'd be upset about it with that enthusiasm. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that or years of unemployment. The recession and the toll it took on the construction industry was out of anyone's control. I don't know what choice she wasn't able to make, whether it was about her being at art school or something else. But the world isn't a fair place. And I'm just so glad when the story gets updated. It's not like I'm reading it right now. And the sooner she accepts it, the better. Still, with that forlorn look on her face, I can't help but sigh. The girl reminds me far too much of myself when I was younger.
Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not... I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
Gets high off that paint.
I'm not a
though.
paint huffer, sheesh.
You sure?
I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it. The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about. If you really want to practice art, a little out of your wallet isn't much.
It's not that
Which-
simple.
It's not. Life's simple. People just like to make it complex.
Like me not eating before recording.
Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid.
Please don't grow up, kid. Great.
Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else.
She just made me think.
That is unless
She
you
made
enjoy
me
making
think.
yourself miserable. Then by all means.
Holy shit, she actually made me think for a second. Hold on, guys. I gotta make stuff happen.
You know,
I gotta go.
if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
We really don't like each other.
Would you have left me alone?
We'll never know now, will we?
A strained air settles in the room afterwards. It doesn't help that she doesn't immediately leave, as she said, lingering awkwardly by the door with that downcast expression. It's clear there's more she means to say, perhaps even to defend herself and her choices in life. Shit, man. Or is she expecting me to dish out more of that advice? It's an awkward affair, and I choose to hightail out of the reality office. Yes. As quick as I can. I gotta get out of this reality office, man. It's too much. I can't handle reality. Though I am able to keep myself professional at times, it does not mean I like it. And seeing that most of the day has hardly gone by before I realized it, I choose to head back to my flat instead. Just got this horrible feeling in my stomach like, there's a ghost waiting for you there. She's been waiting all day and she's pissed. Despite today being a Saturday. You gonna go find another man to fuck. No fun, but at least this way I can definitely avoid another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing whiskey in the near foreseeable future, I have a feeling I'll need the rest that the weekend can give me. For the first time in a long time, excited as I am to work in the mansion, I cannot wait to be over and done with this project. I'm hungry. Why do I do this to myself? Monday couldn't come sooner. Said who, ever? After taking the floor plans from Miss Santos the day before the last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling in my suppliers. Although no design choices have been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances and most expensive materials and the most pretentious everything. They usually did these rich types, based from experience at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants take the elevator up with me. What building are we in? It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she was going to point out something perceived flaw in my physical appearance. Is she a ghost, though? But I'm saved from being paranoid when they went off a few floors later. Still, the ride up to my floor is nerve-wracking. The Wrights lived at the very top of the penthouse. Ooh. The creme de la creme. I think I said that right. When it comes... I honestly don't know what that means. I've heard it a bunch of times before. I should look it up. When it comes to condominium and urban living. I don't know. Just getting access to the place is an ordeal of its own. I had to jump so many hoops, so many security checks just to secure a key card. Not only because of the building's management, but because of the Wright's personal security. Why are they so just famous? What did they do? Her husband cheats. Are they part of just a soap opera? Is that what it is? But it's reality? That's all I can imagine it could be. I sometimes felt like I'm being interrogated for a crime and not visiting a client at their home. Even when their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than... Will you guys read? I can't anymore. My tongue doesn't want to wiggle in the way it has to wiggle. Speaking of the devil. Oof. Hey! You're the guy who killed Zachary. Not me. Wasn't me, of course. I didn't make him break into your house. Hello? The elevator door opens and I'm greeted by none other than Whiskey's not-so-little lackey.
I do apologize if I kept
Is he
Mr. and
big?
Mrs. Wright waiting.
Is he a big boy? Is that what he is?
But I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon.
God, how early is it? If they've just woken up.
I'm surprised to see you made it through security. And only 5 minutes late.
It's not my fault.
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
Sometimes I just want to kiss you, and sometimes I just want to slap you. I just
About
can't
the
decide.
tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
Just some water will be fine. The sir does not like being woken up. He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teapot, cups, and all sorts of other things in preparation for tea. Tea! I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Accepting this quiet and isolation instead, I brace myself for what's to come. I need another tissue, mate. Hold on, lads, I need tissue. Huh? Huh. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes or even tea. I sit there in their living room just waiting. And when the kettle starts whistling, the tea has been served, I continue to wait. It's like going to a doctor's office. At least the silence is relaxing. There's a crash. I nearly spilled my tea all over my lap in surprise, and I look up expecting security to come running. Even the man in the kitchen at the kitchen counter continues to fix breakfast like he's heard nothing. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking. I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what the hell that was, although I am normally not this nosy. What the fuck? The crash came from the hallway and I really shouldn't be snooping about. But it's just concern. Yeah, concern that urges me to check it out. Concern is what got Zachary thrown in jail and not hopefully, but most likely killed. Concern is never a good thing. Just leave it alone. Sneaking a glance at the butler, I consider sneaking off, but...
Excuse me, but where's the loo?
He barely looks away before pointing a spatula towards the hallway. It's a good excuse as any. And if I'm caught lingering longer than I should, I could just excuse myself and say that I wasn't sure which door led to where. I found where concern got me and I don't like where it led. I don't like where concern has gotten me. Concern only kills people. Just mind your own fucking business, will you? Why? What's that on the floor? Is it a radio? Dear God. Help me through this horrible time in my life. How much money did I spend on this game again? Because it's just pretty much torturing me. Turning my headphones down. I'm not stalling, you're stalling. My hand is on the keyboard right there. It's tilting in a weird way. Still looking into the hallway reveals nothing. I don't see anything that might have caused the crash. The hallway, like the rest of the place, is pristine condition. There's a light flickering and everything's dark. What the fuck are you talking about? There are several doors for not only the toilet, but also presumably rooms for their butler and the other members of staff. As I stand there, my hand over the screen, however, something feels definitely out of place. My hand's gonna get very tired very soon. One of the doors nearest within my reach stands ajar, and from inside, a light flickers intensely. It could simply be a light bulb that needs replacing. My hand can't... I need a thing to hold in front of the screen. Ah, why is my monitor so big? Aha, a duck. Come here, ducky. There. Ah, yes. A sponge duck. I just have a sponge of a duck shape in my room, in my studio. Don't even worry. But the thought of it in a place so well taken care of seems off. I think that maybe this is where the crash came from. Oh, ducky, please save me. Inside I can spy a radio lying on the floor. That's probably it, right? Maybe one of the help in a hurry to get out of the room knocked it over in the process. If that's all it is, I should really leave it alone. This duck isn't big enough. This duck isn't fucking big enough. I'm sorry, duck. I'm sorry, duck. I totally trusted you, duck, but you're just... Aha. Yeah, no. I'll just use my hand. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not looking at the goddamn screen. Okay? As I turn to leave, the sound of static fills the air, and a man's tiny voice interrupts the silence.
At 7 in the morning, students found a 5th-year dead.
No, that's not good. Why am I still standing here? It's a good question. Why have I not found anything big enough? Give me this. Give me that. Don't fall over. Ah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I've gone through like 3 things now to put in front of the screen so I can't see anything. This one works. A game case.
Assumed to have fallen from her dormitory window.
Just taking a leap of faith. This seems familiar, doesn't it?
Authorities are investigating the possibility of foul play.
Foul play. Like I've heard it before.
Reporting from St. Samthins, Shane McLaughlin of Galway Bay, AM.
AM what? Fucking bitch! What was on the screen, though? I heard... I think I threw up a little. I don't... Was there anything on the screen? Because I obviously didn't see it. I just heard a noise. And then I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. I recoil, backing away from whatever that was. In the process, I trip backwards on my feet and I wait for the pain of falling flat on my back. But instead, I feel a hand on my back and see the smug smile of, well, guess who?
Oh, don't tell me you're reporting to work drunk, Mint.
I wanna die. Of course, I know exactly who that voice belongs to. It just have to be him.
Marianne McCullough, hammered on the job? That would be something.
But... Woo! As if I had been burned, I pushed away from him with a deep scowl on my face. Even his slightest touch makes me sick. And that smug smile on his face makes me want to come in contact with him, if only to break his nose with my fist.
Is that any way to say hello to a good friend?
I can't believe you're doing this.
We aren't friends. Let's get that straight first off, Mr. Wright. Secondly, you're a married man, so that thing that happened shouldn't have happened.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me it wasn't even a little
What
fun.
the
bit of a laugh
fuck
never
is
hurt anybody.
wrong with you? You're married. Does that mean absolutely nothing? How can you even tease about this? What the fuck?
No, it wasn't fun, and we shouldn't have done it. But since we did, let's pretend it didn't happen and never speak of it again.
I was drunk and had no self-control. Don't I get a free pass?
You had control over getting drunk, you piece of shit. I have work to do. That's not what I wanted, but okay. I guess that's what we're going with today. I want nothing more than to punch the fucker and show him what for, but I have to remind myself to stay calm. No matter what I feel for this man, no matter how much I want to cuss him out and spew every profanity in the book and then some, he's still a client. I don't imagine that knocking the block off of one of the more influential persons of high society, my nose is vibrating, would go well with the rest of my usual clientele.
It doesn't matter. I have work to do. I'm here to do my job. And if Whiskey has any ounce of sense in him, he'll know not to bring up this matter.
He must have some sense, right?
Or else what? I can't take that statement seriously without one of those.
I'll tell your wife? Apparently not.
Whiskey will know not to bring the matter up. Or else he'll get what's coming to him.
No, still not convinced. You tried, I suppose. Plus points for that.
You are so stupid. If anything, you should be the one begging to not say anything about it because of your wife. The dead air between us, because it can't be anything else but that, is broken as a lively voice calls up from the loft.
Marianne, I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long.
You disgusting little piece of shit.
I know we agreed we'd start at 10 o'clock, but mornings just simply do not agree with me. Not one bit. It's been like this since I've been in university.
It's 5 minutes to 11 o'clock. These high-end clients sure like to be fashionably late. I'm used to it, though, much like how I'm used to so many years of hearing people mispronounce my name. Besides, berating or correcting my client would be extremely impolite, and Marianne doesn't sound too bad when she says it. Wait. Is it pronounced differently? Wait. It is. To be fair, it doesn't seem like she's late on purpose.
I see you're up, darling. You know, you could have woken me up as well. Were you showing Marianne around? Not that there's much to see. This place is so tiny compared to the mansion.
Oh, he showed me around, all right. Ugh. I'm more worried about the way she stares at me, judging. Such a look. Doesn't suit her pretty face at all. Just seeing Mrs. Wright reminds me too much of her. And maybe I'm starting to hear her again. See her again when I shouldn't. I shouldn't have left it all behind, forgotten it. I should have. To think she would be looking at me that way. I can just feel my hands tremble.
Oh yes, just showing her around and getting to know each other. Isn't that right, Marianne?
I hate you and everything you stand for.
Yes, of course. And your butler was making breakfast a while ago. So if you want to get right to that...
Breakfast would be lovely.
Ooh, I just want to toss him out one of these giant-ass windows. Ooh, man. It's tempting. Very tempting. Anyway. I'm gonna end this here before I go on a murderous rampage towards a fictional character. So, I'll see everybody in the next episode then. Bye, I guess.